Hey, this is John Carlos, and I'm here with a look at the exclusive limited edition action figure of Rufus from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure by NECA. And I really dig the packaging, how it looks kind of like a phone booth on the sides with a little electricity kind of spilling around all over it. It's a neat little touch. This figure is available exclusively with the release of Shout Factory's Bill and Ted's Most Excellent Collection on Blu-ray. On their website you can order just the Blu-ray for $39.97, or you can get the set, which includes the Blu-ray and the action figure and an exclusive poster for $79.99, which breaks down to $40 for the Blu-ray, $20 for the figure, and $20 for the poster, which is pretty fair pricing when you look at all that you're getting. Now, this is an interesting figure for me because I don't really collect these figures. A few years ago, NECA started making 8-inch cloth figures with little like sculpted heads and accessories, and they're very similar to the old Mego style figures that used to be made like in the 70s. And I'm not really into that retro style of figures. I don't like cloth figures, and I don't like 8-inch scale figures. So why did I get this? Well, besides being a Bill and Ted fan, I am a massive, and I mean massive, George Carlin fan. He is my favorite comedian of all time, and how rare is it to get a George Carlin action figure and a Rufus figure, because I do love Rufus in Bill and Ted, so this is something I just had to get. And there are some pros and some cons to it. Let's just focus on the outfit first. As far as like translating his outfit from the movie into toy form, yeah, it's a gray suit with a black coat, and they got like the weird little like lapel pin on there and his like little shirt pin on there. But the thing that I don't like about these style of figures is like this does not hang at all like it does in the movie. Like, give me a sculpted figure where like everything looks like it should look. Like it hangs properly, it's not bulky and baggy in the front, and like the coat is all puffy, and the size of the fabric does not translate to the size of fabric in the movie, so it just looks all lumpy and weird. Now, despite my complaining about that, yeah, they did get some good details on here, like the little coat pins there. The strap that goes around his coat, the little belt that hangs out there, looks pretty good as far as like the basic straps of it go. The cut of the sleeve there, you can see how it's sewn right across there. And the suit itself underneath the coat, like the way the little buttons are done, his little futuristic suit buttons look pretty good. I mean, the tailoring of the pockets all look pretty good. The pants are, a little baggy. And you can see his shoes are kind of well sculpted as far as that little wrinkle in the base of them goes. Pretty good job. I just don't like how baggy this all looks. But there is something really awesome about this figure. The reason I get it for me. Frickin' Carlin. And I think this is a great, great head sculpt. It's fantastic looking, and I think they really did capture the essence of Rufus in here because, on stage Carlin could get really angry and make some really cartoony faces, but there is kind of a cool, relaxed seriousness that he brings to Rufus, and they captured that personality in this face sculpt, just that wrinkling above his nose in the eyebrow area. The look in his eyes. They did a great, great, great job sculpting Carlin's head here, and I'm really, really happy with this. As a Carlin fan, I'm really delighted with the work NECA did here. Makes this purchase totally worth it for me. If we just focus in on there, you could see the paint for his little goatee area looks good. His eyebrow paint is good. His eyeballs look fantastic. The black and blue paint, the white paint looks good. The paint on his earring looks good. I think they did a great job sculpting his hair and painting his hair. It looks really good, especially towards the top there. You can see a closer look for his like widow's peak and all that. Skin paint looks good. Like, I got no complaints. It looks good from the profile. Looks good from like all angles. I'm really happy with how that turned out. One thing that's a little weird on this though is the articulation is really stiff on this figure. Like, his head is really tight at the neck. Well, now it's a little bit looser. Maybe it's because I played with it a bit. But like out of the package, the head joint was really, really tight. The articulation on this in general is kind of tight. And the fabric is so baggy, like what's the point of some of this articulation where you can barely kind of see the difference? But there's a shoulder joint that kind of comes out and forward and back. I think there's a single elbow joint, a rotating wrist. There's no mid-torso cut, but there is a swivel at the waist. Legs kind of go in and out. Pants kind of limit the articulation range. There's a double knee joint and then a hinged ankles. And a bicep cut. And if there's the thigh, there's no thigh cut, but at the ball joint at the leg, that's where you can get the legs to kind of swivel out and about. Now this figure comes with a few accessories, including the Circuits of Time directory, which I think is maybe my favorite accessory in here because I think there's some really good details to it. Like, it's a simple book, but the fact that they sculpted the paper binding inside and like the little binder edge on the side there with the little dots, and just the artwork is really detailed as far as, you know, the little walking phone booth at the bottom. This is a cool accessory. What's also cool is the little tiny Wild Stallions album cover. It's really little, it's just like printed on cardboard, so it's kind of cheap, but whatever. It looks like how it does in the movie, so that's cool. And lastly, we have Rufus's sunglasses, which are absolutely important, and you need to include these with this figure, and they look good, they're well painted, and we'll put them on the figure, which, despite my complaining about the bagginess of the outfit, I do like quite a bit. Part of that's because, well, NECA is the only company that's making Bill and Ted action figures. I love this movie, and these are the only action figures that are made by like a modern toy company. And yeah, there will be an actual Bill and Ted figure later, besides just this Rufus figure. Man, does he look good with those sunglasses. That looks really, really awesome. Now, despite my complaints about the puffiness of the fabric, I still like this figure. And I'm sure some of you out there will be saying, like, duh, like that's what Mego style figures were. This is retro. This is the style of the figure, big, puffy, loose, ill-fitting outfits. To which I say, I get it. I totally get what this is retro of. It's just not something I'm hip to, man. It's just not my thing. But I still love this figure, primarily, in fact, yeah, primarily because it is George Carlin. I'm a massive Carlin fan, like I said, and I think NECA did a great, well, that doesn't stay in the hand, but whatever. I think NECA did a great job honoring Carlin by doing a fantastic sculpt of his head. I still like seeing Rufus in action figure form, whatever action figure form it may be, including in this style. As a fan of Bill and Ted, I'm delighted by this figure. I frickin' love it. So thanks for watching, everybody, and follow me on Instagram and Facebook and all that, and be excellent to each other.